Well, hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin, and these are 10 talents that don't need WWE to succeed. Now, one of them I will say did spend some time in WWE and is a success story outside of it, but just want to clarify most of them are proof that you don't need to be in WWE to be a massive success. And yeah, there are more wrestlers I obviously could include, but if I included wrestlers that just were never in WWE, believe it or not, this list would be a lot shorter because there were some that did even have a little bit of time in WWE and have shown to be great wrestlers or great entertainers or apply their trade outside of WWE and make big money. Like in New Japan or Ring of Honor or, Impact and Lucha Underground, they're going through their own rebranding and co-branding, and they seem to be doing well, and hopefully they continue to rise up, especially Impact. They need it. Hopefully, wrestling as a whole just continues to rise. UK promotions, other indie promotions seem to be doing well. That's great. We need some more thriving stuff to combat WWE and the staleness of it. And yes, even though I'm a big wrestling fan and I watch a lot of WWE, New Japan's mainly where it's at. So that's kind of the inspiration for this list. So let's get on with it. Number 10, Kota Ibushi. Yes, he had some time in the Cruiserweight Classic, and he had some great matches, including that blowaway match with Cedric Alexander, the whole please sign Cedric thing, and Kota decided not to sign, along with one other guy that will be mentioned later in this list. Kota has done a ton better, because not signing with WWE was the best thing he could do. And he made a few other appearances in NXT after that, and that was great. But he didn't need to be... He didn't need to be under the WWE umbrella. They wouldn't know what to do with Kota Ibushi. And now, especially with the stuff he's been doing with Kenny Omega, the feud he's had with Cody Rhodes, but the reuniting with Kenny Omega's Golden Lovers, it's been great stuff. Great TV, great streaming service product. I don't know what you call it. I'll say great TV because they'd have Strong Style Evolved and they faced the Bucks. And one of my favorite matches of the year, yes, a match with the Young Bucks is on my favorite matches of the year list. I know we're only in April as of the time of this recording, but still, that's saying something. Kota Ibushi, however, doesn't need WWE. He's doing some great things, and the guy's effing nuts. Well, I don't know why I'm saying effing. He's fucking nuts. He is. But in a good way, because the guy's incredibly entertaining, too. And him and Omega are a great team, and they'll make even greater rivals when the team splits up and Kota goes heel. Because Kota is going to go heel. It's going to happen. And it should happen. Omega doesn't need to be a heel again. Kota should be the heel. Then we go to number 9. Marty Scurll. Why? He's doing so well outside of WWE. ROH, New Japan, UK promotions. You're telling me with merch money, he's not making money comparable to some lower to maybe even mid-card guys? And getting to work his own schedule. And yeah, he's doing a lot of traveling and everything, but the WWE travel schedule is insane. Marty also fits perfectly, super over at the New Japan shows and the Ring of Honor shows. Guys, the guy is great, got a great persona, doesn't need to go there. Doesn't need to go to Vince's land. He's a huge success anyway. Number 8, Cody Rhodes. This is kind of the one that almost has a little bit of an asterisk, because yes, Cody spent 9-10 years in WWE, and since leaving, has done well. He made appearances in Impact Wrestling at Bound for Glory 2016. That was a great show to order. That was alright pay-per-view. It wasn't great, but it wasn't a bad pay-per-view. I did a review of it, by the way, on my pay-per-view reviews list, if you want to see that, and the review I did for Slammiversary just last year. And I'll be doing some more Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, like reflections on Lockdown and stuff like that coming up at some point. So, hey, whatever. But anyway, Cody Rhodes doesn't need WWE to succeed. He doesn't. He's doing well in Ring of Honor. He's doing well in New Japan. Tremendous heel. Probably the best heel in wrestling easily right now. I get why he's maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but I personally enjoy his offense. And I think he's very good in the ring. Is he going to be as good as his dad? No, he doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to be his dad. He needs not to be next Dusty Rhodes. He needs to be the first Cody Rhodes. And he's really, really good in the amount of boos and vitriol that he gets from the crowd, and the way he's been able to open up and blossom as a performer and show that you don't need WWE to succeed. Cody's a perfect example of that. And I don't think he ever needs to go back. Will he go back? Sure, probably. I don't think he should, but it's his life. He can do what he wants. Number 7, Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle will be watered down like so much. He'd just be a damn puddle by the time WWE got done with him. He's great in Ring of Honor. If he makes shots in New Japan, because they kind of have a co-promotion thing, he doesn't need it. Him and the boys don't need it. He's a very good wrestler, a very good persona, very good Ring of Honor World Champion. He's been a very good Ring of Honor World Champion, that is. And, shockingly beating Cody for it. He's actually done very well with the title since. So the shock win has led to a very, very good title reign. And Dalton's just really good. Just really good in general. He's really good in the ring, good on the mic, and he's a good talent. And his style fits perfectly with New Japan and Ring of Honor. Number 6, Zack Sabre Jr. Pretty much the same as Kota Ibushi. If he had signed with WWE, dear God, they would have frickin' just buried the guy. And it's sad because Sabre Jr. is so damn good. Taka Michinoku being his spokesperson. That was great stuff building up in the whole New Japan Cup. And of course, Sabre Jr. lost to Okada, as everybody knew he was going to lose to Okada. There were a few people that thought maybe he wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't have been totally against it, but Sabre Jr. winning would have been a bit of an odd move. Guy's great, though. Guy's great. Gray as a heel. I love his style. Kind of what I said about Cody. Maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but I love his submission style. I love how great he is in the ring. His mic skills, secondary, because his ring style is so damn good. He doesn't need to do a lot of talking. That's why Taka's there. But Zack Sabre Jr., tremendous talent. Worlds of experience, and he's going to do well for a decade plus in New Japan. They could keep him around for a while and keep a lot of feuds fresh. He's going to do great. Number 5, Will Ospreay. Because by the time WWE comes calling, Will Ospreay may not be walking and doing too much wrestling if he takes any more bumps like that goddamn apron bump. Dear God, Will Ospreay, I'm glad you're okay. Never do that again. Boy, he cut his head open bad. But this is good. This is good for Will Ospreay to not go WWE. He's making good money. He's, I think, only in his mid-20s. He's got years ahead of him, provided he doesn't do any more insane spots like the one I just mentioned. He could do well in New Japan, make appearances in Ring of Honor, UK, Australia promotions. He could do well just doing his own thing. His high flying is suited perfectly for the New Japan style. It just is. And Ospreay fits a whole lot better. And I mean, doing all the calling the spots I don't think would work so well in WWE. He would have to stop doing that, as well as another pair of people I'm going to mention soon. And I think I already spoiled it. Super Kick Party Bitch. That's who I'm going to mention. But Will Ospreay, perfect New Japan. Number 4, Naito. Why would Naito want to go to WWE? Why? There are people that are suggesting it. Why? He's doing great in New Japan. Former IWGP heavyweight champion. A lot of people tend to forget that. Granted, because it was a short reign. I think he's going to be the one to take the title off of Okada. If it's not going to be sometime in July or August, depending on when Okada's next title defense is after he faces Tanahashi, provided he retains. I'd be very surprised if Tanahashi actually manages to beat Okada. I think Naito is going to be the one to take title off him. Now, they could build it all the way to Wrestle Kingdom 13, and yes, I will be up for that. I don't care what day it is. I'm going to be up and watching that. But Naito is perfect for New Japan. He's happy where he is. He doesn't need WWE. With the track record of WWE booking Japanese stars, and it being shady at best and borderline stupid at the worst, he really should just stay where he's at. Plus, he's super over in New Japan. The fans love him. He doesn't need to go anywhere. Same with number 3. It's Okada, in case you couldn't see that shirt because I didn't hold up very long. Okada is one of the best wrestlers in the world, if not the best. Him and AJ Styles, I think, would be like 1 and 2. And somebody said, oh, Roman Reigns is the best wrestler in the world. Shut your whore mouth, seriously. Now, whatever. If people think that Roman Reigns is the best wrestler in the world, great. They're wrong completely, and they probably suffered, lobotomy early on in their life. But whatever, we all have our different opinions. Back to Okada. Okada, tremendous dropkick. He's good with submissions. Not great with submissions, but he's good with submissions. But he's fluid in the ring. You want to watch more of him when he wrestles. The Rainmaker. He's He's built like a star. He wrestles like a star. He's promoted like a star. Okay, his title reign probably should end pretty damn soon. And it may not. And it may go to Wrestle Kingdom 13, like I said earlier, like when I talked about Naito, which might be taking it forever. And Okada will hold all the records. Maybe that's going a little much, but whatever. Okada's still one of the best there, and he's the new ace of Japan. He is the new ace of Japan. I mean, no offense against Tanahashi, but Okada unseated him as the ace a couple years ago, I'd say, but especially in the last year plus since he's had this IWGP heavyweight title reign. But come on, with how Impact booked him, you really want Okada to go to Japan, or go from Japan to WWE? I'm not saying he couldn't have some great matches in NXT, but dear God, we do not want him on the main roster. Stay in Japan, make his money, and do well. That's it. That's it right there. Number 2, the Young Bucks. You want to see the Young Bucks in WWE? I sure don't. I don't like the Young Bucks. I don't. I don't wish that they're unable to provide for their family or unable to provide money and earn some really good merch money, and that right there is the big thing. They would lose out on so much merch money. They're doing so well as far as how they, as how they market themselves and everything, and the amount of money they can get from their merch and their marketing and this kind of stuff. They would give up so much to go to WWE. Why? So they could wrestle in NXT, not be watered down, but have to call their spots less loudly to where people 5 miles outside the arena could hear them. You really want the Young Bucks to do that? No. You really want the Young Bucks as part of WWE? I mean, if you do, great. I'm not going to fault you guys, but no way. They shouldn't go there. Will they go there? Probably. And I won't celebrate it because I don't like the Young Bucks. I don't. Sorry, I don't. I'm not sold on them. But again, I did put one of the matches they were involved in, on my favorite matches of the year list, because even I can admit when the Young Bucks can put on a good performance. But to me, they are overrated. But they do so well in New Japan and Ring of Honor, they do not need WWE. WWE needs them way more than the Bucks need WWE. And number 1, Kenny Omega. Just no. I don't want Omega in WWE. Have Omega as one of the premier stars of Japan. Seriously, why wouldn't he want to stay there? Like, yeah, could he make more money doing a lot more traveling in WWE? Yes. But would it offset the easier schedule that he has in Japan, and where he can pick his spots and have some blow-away 5-star matches or 6-star matches if you rate them like Dave Meltzer, like he's just throwing out stars like crazy, just throwing them out like crazy. Seriously, Meltzer has some issues with his star ratings, but again, that's because he's just a fan. A fan studies shit, but he's still just a fan and not a god like some people say he is. If you think that that's wrong, well, whatever. I have my opinions. You have yours. Omega needs to stay in Japan. I mean, it's his life. At the end of the day, everybody that I mentioned here, it's their lives. They can do what the hell they want. But part of the reason Omega needs to stay in Japan is that guy would be incredibly watered down. I'm not saying he couldn't get over in WWE, but he would be a fraction of the performer he is in New Japan. Because he would have to slow down so much, because he would be doing stuff every single night, like on Raws or SmackDowns and house shows and pay-per-views, and doing way more stuff in a lot of his matches. He would have to pick and choose those times he uses, like the V-Trigger, the One-Wing Angel, and the gun stuff. I don't know if he'd be able to do that, but whatever, because PG wrestling and stuff like that. But Omega is perfect for Japan. Does not need to go to WWE. I've repeated that a lot with a lot of wrestlers. But those are some wrestlers I feel should not go to WWE. Whether they were in WWE before or not. And Omega was in WWE very briefly. But then got released. And that's a good thing. Because it was New Japan picked him up. And he's done great things for them. And they've done great things for him. That's what I gotta say. Who are some talents you would like to see not go to WWE? Whether they were in WWE and aren't anymore, or where they've never been, and you would just like them to stay where they're at. Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe also. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.